Hello. Got Jen with me. How you
Hey
doing?
again, guys.
How you doing? How you doing? I hope everybody's okay.
Everybody breathing?
Everybody's breathing. Came on early because we have a long weekend this weekend because it's Veterans Day on Monday. So I want to get out of the house, take Johnny for a walk. Braxy
Johnny.
for a walk.
Rick.
taking
Johnny
Brax,
might need one too, but you'd have to go to Oregon.
uh, taking Braxy for a walk. It's just, I know everybody's feeling a little what the fuck,
Nobody's sleeping. Went
yeah.
to my guitar lesson today. Even my guitar teacher's like, "What?" I said, "Well, obviously you haven't watched the video we did Wednesday yet."
Oh, he watched it, or
No, he had not. I said, "Obviously you haven't watched it."
Oh, okay. So you guys
No,
know I keep notes. I keep my books. um for when stuff happens, I can come out and look at it and review and hit some points and see where I screwed up. And but in this instance, I'm sticking to my guns.
I'm sticking to mine. I'll believe it when he's inaugurated. Until then, I'm not believing it.
I was talking, for those of you in the chat, hello everybody, welcome. um Hey mom, how you doing? I was talking to Jenny today on the phone. Jenny was not aware that Russia was trying to hack Moldova's elections. Correct?
Did
They
and
hacked Moldova. They hacked
as well
Moldova.
as by the way, Romania.
Oh, they hacked
They messed with
Romania's election.
Romania. They spent millions on Moldova and Romania on propaganda, and they were messing with Romania's also.
Did they steal it in Romania or no?
I don't think so. I think they caught it
Did
fast
they
enough.
catch it afterwards or during?
I think like the propaganda, like we've known, it's been going on all along, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the actual like trying to hack and stuff, I it's like they're catching it either as it's happening or afterwards.
Hold
And
on.
Biden's aware of that because he congratulated the winner of Moldova. While you're laying out cards, I'll talk a little bit about it. In Moldova, the Western leaning person who is about democracy and stuff wants to join the EU, the European Union, and Moldova is right next to Ukraine. So Putin wants it for Ukraine because it'll give him access. He wants Moldova for Ukraine. The right leaning person in Moldova was like, hey, let's just be buddies with Moldova. Lithuania, who's right there, was helping Moldova straighten it out because they're afraid Russia's going to come after them next. They have elections coming up.
When is their elections?
I'm not sure, but it's coming up. Let's see if I can Google that. Their parliament or something has. They had some elections in May. Their parliamentary elections. Oh, they had on the October 13th and 27th. Wow, they have like multiple elections or something. This is crazy.
Hey, Peggy, has Shapiro put out an announcement or anything? Mom? Yeah, so we know that Russia was trying to hack and manipulate the elections in Moldova. They failed. They got caught. But they caught it afterwards, or what happened, Jen?
They also were messing with Romania. Dweller Between the Waters reader apparently lives in Romania and was talking about how they were messing with Romania.
Mm-hmm.
He wants all those little countries around there. Yeah,
He wants to take over all of it. So, but for Moldova, did they catch him during or after? After it was done, did they say something is right and they looked into it and oh motherfucker?
I couldn't find when they tracked it, but they knew it was Russia. I didn't find a date that they tracked it, but that Biden's aware, because if they were hacking foreign elections, our intel's going to be informing Biden.
Not only that, but you told me that that Biden made a statement about that too, correct?
He called the new president and congratulated her, and also made a statement condemning Russia for meddling in their election, for their election interference. So he's aware they're interfering all around the world, and especially around Ukraine.
And because Donald Trump likes to tell on himself, we don't need you to vote. We don't need you to vote. We have plenty of votes. We don't need you to vote. We're going to fix it so good you'll never have to vote again. Something I found quite funny, actually. So after they won, and I'm saying that very, very loosely because this stinks to high heaven, They came out and told everybody, oh, by the way, that Project 2025, yeah, that's totally our agenda.
Yeah, we're going to do it now.
We're going to do it. That was our agenda the whole time.
Well, it was interesting. You sent me that link on what happened in the Boston area, not having enough ballots and trying to rush them by police car to the locations, trying to get people to stay to vote, not having enough ballots.
They did not have enough ballots in Boston.
And sent a bunch of ballots to the wrong locations.
Yep. So that right there, Boston did not have enough ballots. I just sent Jen a video. Who was it? The Secretary of State or
the Secretary of State? And we know the big cities, like he said, out in the outskirts, in the burbs, they didn't have that big of an issue. It was in the city. Well, the city is predominantly Democrat. You get in a big city, Chicago, New York, San Francisco. They're Democratic. They're Democrats. So, yeah, trying to stifle the votes in Boston.
And I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, they're posting pictures of Your Body, My Choice. And I've seen videos and stuff on Twitter of people interviewing MAGA supporters. And when they realize what Project 2025 is, now that they've come out and admitted it, and that how it's going to impact them, they're shitting their pants. They're like, what? It's, yeah, well, so I came on here today.
We came on Wednesday, and if you did not see that video, that's over on my channel. Go over and watch it later. We're sticking to our guns that this election is meddled with.
Well, I mean, and I'm not saying this because it's not the results that we want. It's because of his track record. Simple as that. It's because of his track record. Himself. He cheated in 2016. We saw it with our own eyes, and everybody that got indicted because he cheated in 2020. There's no way he didn't do it again. And this election. Also, the media has been telling us for months and 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 months. 2020 was a dry run. They're much more sophisticated this time. Okay.
And now he's got Elon Musk working with them with his little satellites and stuff, who's also met with Putin. Thank you, Anita.
So I'm not here to conspiratize and be like MAGA. I'm simply pointing out we have the Mueller report from 2016 that told us exactly what he was doing. We have all the indictments, and we saw the insurrection from 2020 of how he tried to steal it there. There's no way this is clean. And I'll tell you why, because this is the tableau that I did June.
So this is Donald Trump's.
This is Donald Trump's tableau in June. Okay, we saw that Biden stepped out, handed it to a woman here. Okay. I talked to Jen and I talked to Lori. I don't quite remember if I don't remember if I said it in the video. Exactly, M. Kelpie, the math doesn't add up. Even if you take all the votes and count it towards third-party voters, it's still short. It's still short, you know.
If you did not see Susan Lynn's video today, she showed confirmation of someone who tried to use her address to vote in Texas.
And not just that. We've seen reports from the Secretary of State in Mesa County, Colorado. Somebody stole ballots, filled them out, and sent them in. We saw the bombing of up the Pacific Northwest of ballot boxes. There were other instances on the East Coast where, you know, they got into the votes and everything. It's not an isolated incident, is what I'm trying to say. And again, to repeat myself for the 500th millionth time, I don't think that it would be conspiratorial. It's not a leap of logic to say that this election was on the up and up when he's done it in 2016 and he got busted and indicted for 2020.
Here's another big clue of this election was messed with, because all of a sudden, no Republicans are saying, oh, election fraud. Oh, everything's fine this time because we all won.
Yeah. Another thing that doesn't make sense is down ticket Democrats, nothing filled out for the top of the ticket, or down ticket Democrats and then Donald Trump at the top of the ticket. It's just, and the total versus even if you divided between Trump, Kamala, and third-party voters, Jill Stein and brainworms, you're still missing about 20 million. Do you see what I'm saying? So the math is wrong.
The math isn't mathing.
I've seen reports from users on Twitter that their mail-in ballots were returned, not counted.
Xander's saying Russia's interfering in Georgia, the country Georgia also.
When did that happen, Xander?
He's saying he won't accept the election results because Russia interfered there too. So
when did that happen? Can you look for me, Jenny? Because
yeah, let me see. Let me try to
yeah, the bomb threats, everything. Oh, she's saying Divergent Moon is saying last week. Exactly, Serena.
Georgia battles election interference, electoral interference 2 days ago.
Was that reported 2 days ago, or was the election 2 days ago?
Reported 2 days ago.
Oh, because I can't pronounce his name. Ainer Son X was saying that was last month. They interfered with Georgia, Moldova, Lithuania. Did you say Romania too, Jen?
Romania too. That was from Dweller Between the Waters. She lives there, and she said they messed with their elections in Romania.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we know that how Russia would benefit from Trump because he would just hand him over the entire Ukraine. And then by default, he would just bulldoze his way through the entirety of Europe. I don't what am I going to say here? I was talking to Jenny. If you guys have not seen the video that Jenny posted on her community page about the astrologer, that's my exact train of thought. Based on this right here, I am not buying what they're selling at all. At all. Not only because, of what the cards are, but because of his patterns of being a fraud and a cheat, so you can't tell me he cheated the last 2 elections and all of a sudden he's, Mr. Clean Nose didn't do anything dirty. I'll believe it when I see it. So that video that Jen posted, she's saying that Mercury went retrograde today. Was it today?
Yeah, it started today. The video on my community tab. It's awesome. Watch it, guys, on the astrology.
Please go watch that video. And that's another person that's getting super mean, nasty comments from people in the community that are super pissed off. If you guys are upset that readers or astrologers or whatever got it wrong, don't attack them. Don't attack them.
Unsubscribe and go away.
Yeah.
And don't email me if you're having a pity trip either. I can't pick you up. I'm getting a lot of emails. It's like, keep your own energy up.
Melissa is saying Mercury is not retrograde. We're in the shadow period. What does that mean, Melissa?
So when's it going retrograde direct? I know it goes at a standstill. It stations on the 25th of November.
Jessie is saying that her ballot isn't showing us counted either. So Melissa, 2 weeks before, energy is in effect though. So the energy was in effect before the elections is what you're saying, correct? Well, exactly, Tina. He tells you out loud. And if you guys watched Lori's channel from The Way of Positive Change, please go show her some love too. Oh,
it's retrograde officially on the 25th. So yeah, we're in the shadow period 2 weeks before that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not an astrologer. So Melissa, you might want to help. But that means when everything kind of slows down and it's time for review, correct?
It slows down. It causes things to have to get redone, especially with technology. Hey, Kevin, see you in the chat. It makes things have to get redone. It affects technology. So, this could be a period of where they're reconstructing what happened with these votes.
So this was Trump's tableau that we did in June. If you look, he's all the way at the bottom of the tableau in the House of Woman. But the card right next to him is the House in the House of Lilies, which would be the White House. He's stepping right into it. Okay? It's not far away. He's walking into this. But it's from fraud. Right next to it. The fox. He's sneaking in and betraying and being a traitor, if that makes sense. A few days ago, they had the election.
That's Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Georgia had the election.
Country, Georgia.
So he's stepping into this, and but he's doing so fraudulently here. Okay. If you look above, there's the results in the ballots. It's sitting in the House of Mice. Results and ballots are missing, and they're missing here. Some were canceled. Okay. He knows about that. He has a secret this way. Okay. I have spent the
He
last.
told us he has a secret.
Well, I have spent since, what day are we on? Thursday?
Just Friday. We're on Friday. No, we're on Thursday. Sorry.
Looking over
Only been 2 days.
Looking over every single one of my books, taking notes, because I don't think that I was very thorough in my analysis when I did this GT on the what do you call this? On the original method from 1903, which is right here. These are the original instructions on how to read this. Okay, so I pulled out my freaking encyclopedias and I was looking at everything. This is also known as the Philippe instructions. Okay, this is a PDF of how it was printed in the newspapers back then. And it was printed October 19th, 1903. Okay, as you can tell, it's super, super tiny. So I got to get out my magnifying glass and read because it's tiny. Bjorn Muris has done a fabulous job of breaking down the original instructions in a series of volumes 1, 2, and 3. Volume 3 does not apply to this. However, volume 3 is for different spreads. So I was looking at his tableau that I did, Kamala Harris's tableau, and then I bounced it against Camelia Elias's GT. Now, I am not
the lady Becca mentioned in Wednesday's video, in yesterday's video.
I am not in the practice of reviewing other people's grand tableaus. That is not something I do, period, end of story. I subscribed to her newsletter, and she had done a spread to see who would win the election. She got Kamala Harris. Who would be the next president of the United States? She got Kamala Harris. And I'll look at that tableau as well because I put it in my notes. And I was bouncing that one against this one here for Donald Trump. And what do you know? There are 36 cards here. That's what the tableau consists of. She got this exact thing right next to Trump, but not in this format. So he was up here and it's down here. That exact thing. So what are the chances of that? For one, you know, so this is saying he gets in there, he sneaks in. Okay, like he sneaks in to the White House. He does it through fraud, and the fraud right here is ballots are missing and ballots were canceled. The numbers are missing. Do you see what I'm saying? In the original instructions, the book, when you're applying the rule of directionality, if the spine is touching the person, they have really big secrets. In this case, it's towards Kamala Harris. Okay. Where the book opens is where it comes out, where it's released. In Camelia Elias's Grand Tableau, which I'll have to take this out and do hers so I can show you. It's right next to Trump, and it's full of all the freaking horrible cards. Now, another thing to note is in Lenny's, we look at clusters. Okay, so right here, Kamala Harris has two of the celestials crowning her, the stars and the moon. The other one is over here, the sun. It's not close. It's not above her, but it's close. Ideally, you want all three above her head. Am I making sense? so that when the light shines, it comes down on you and it illuminates everything around you. In this instance, she still has the cluster. It's close, but she's getting illumination from both of these. And her illumination is, she has a ginormous amount of popularity. Okay. However, her popularity was stifled here. And same thing for Trump. He knights up here to the storks. If he's trying to raise in popularity, he can't. He needs assistance from a friend this way. Do you see what I'm saying? So tampered with, manipulated, cut out stuff. This right here is sitting in the house of stars. That would be like your internet hack. Okay. The blunt portion of the scythe is hitting here. What did they hit with the hack? Voter rolls and ballots. Am I making sense? So there's that. And then there's also what we like to call the gang of misery, which is the fox, the snake, the mice, and the mountain. The closer those cards are to a significator card, meaning Donald Trump, you need to watch out, because this person is telling you they're really, 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 really bad. So a fraud and a liar, and a thief and an enemy here. And he's got it clustered all around him. And if you look at his cards, they're all negative.
Becca, go back to the scythe in the house of stars. That stars can also be maps, right? So that could be targeted on maps.
It could be maps. It could be
scythe on it, like targeting certain maps.
Maps. Also anything to do with space. So yeah. And it's in the house of scythe. And what they're delivering is false here. The letter, which would be our ballots, the results of the election. Okay. You can't see it because it's right here. The cross knights here to the ballots. What they're delivering over here is false. It's the result of an attack and this being tampered with. Here it's telling you that it was stolen because it's sitting on the house of mice. There's stuff that's missing. Here you have the scythe in the house of stars, a hack or some sort of where they got in and they cut people out. And here, manipulation. The results are manipulated. Here it's a lie. That is why people are not trusting this. He's trusting it on his face because he's the beneficiary. This is not trusted here. Do you see what I'm saying? This is not good news. Am I making sense?
Yes.
And then on his line of fate, this is not good. He thinks he got an exit strategy because the crossroads is the card of choices, options. That's why I use it for my card for the elections, because you have a choice between candidates, but it's also where you go to find a way out. Okay. When you're facing a problem, this is how you look for a way out. Well, before that, it's mice, mountain, clouds, and man. His way out from all of his problems is to try to escape. But even then, this sits on the house of cross. Okay, so it's not a good strategy. It's almost like he gets lost. Now, when you look down this way, this would be Kamala Harris. She suffers a loss here. Okay. However, she has a solution. The solution with the key is in the house of book. She has knowledge about something that's going on in the network, or she has knowledge that this, because it sits in the house of garden, that this was tampered with and attacked. The garden is also sitting in the house of whip, and whip is right here in the house of house. So the book is also the card of research. So when they start looking for answers, they're going to be able to tell that that there was an attack. Stuff is missing. and she knows. Okay. If you follow her line this way, she was on her path, you know, but he stole it basically. And the man sits next to the house, or next to the house that he's walking into. He got there fraudulently. Okay. And the man knights over to the mice. The man is a thief. The closer the mice is, the easier or the better chance you have of retrieving something that is lost, stolen, or missing. Am I making sense? He's got the mountain right next to that. Something was stolen by an enemy. That favors him. Okay. And if you look down this line, there's your delivery. All right. It's in the house of coffin. Coffin is right before it. I'm going to deliver you. I'm going to deliver you the win, even though you lost. Ring in the house of bear. I'm going to deliver you, even though you lost. A promise for power and also financial gain. The dog or the bear is also.
The ring's in the house of bear, right?
Ring is in the house of bear, and it also knights to the bear. So it's reiterating that. Gifting him or favoring him in the house of crossroads, which is the elections, but it was in more than one area, more than one gift, because it's multiple. Man in the house of woman, so him over Kamala Harris, and then there's your enemy that gave him the many. Okay? It sits in the house of fish. Fish is up here in the house of ship, and it knights here to ship. So the many was given to him as an offering or a gift from someone abroad.
So it's reiterated multiple times in there because everything's knighting to each other, and
everything is knighting to everything. So with that said, the key is out of his reach. Okay, she can get the answers and the solution. This is out of his reach because this is near, this is very near, this is near, this is far. He can't get to this. Over, same thing with this. Near, very near, near, and far. Okay, so these are all the cards that touch him. So let's look at that. He knows how he got here, and he knows that it was stolen. That his success was brought to him by an enemy, sun in the house of mountain. The enemy helped him achieve something because he was having trouble gaining power, and he's also in serious financial problems. Okay, and man in the house of woman for him to overcome her, but he is also followed right below with this, which is the most negative card. Typically, you would want this, the dark side of the clouds, facing away from you. So you would want this to your right, but it's directly, he's sitting directly above this. Because of that,
he's sitting in his own caca.
He's sitting in his own shit. Because of that, he may feel like he has overcome and escaped. This is an action card. Exited. He thinks he has escaped here with this and escaped here with this by getting access to here fraudulently. Okay.
And it knights to the tower, so he thinks he's escaped all his court crap.
Yeah, he thinks he's getting into the White House. He's evaded everything, but he has evaded it fraudulently. Okay. Now, what else was I going to say about this tableau? I think that's it. He's got the little gang of misery right here, and I'm going to read from you what the book says on the gang of misery. It's on page 83.
There's also, you were talking about the fox can be a trap.
Yeah, the fox is also a trap. No, that's not the right one. It's this one. Hold on. Let me look at 83. Sorry, y'all. I have
Susan. Yes, this is Lucy, the pretty orange kitty. Lucy's 15 now.
So I'm going to show you in this book, because I told you guys I had all my books out. I was freaking cross-examining all these things. Where's the clubs? Hold on. Diamonds, spades, clubs. It must be on the next page. And this is the 9 of, where's number 9? Clubs. which is the 9 of clubs, which is the fox. Cunning, manipulation, devious, bad influence, but it's also a trap. Now, here in this encyclopedia, page 83, the gang of misery. We just talked about that. Those cards consist of the snake, the whip, the mountain, and mice. There's the snake. Oh, not the whip. The snake, the fox, mountain, and mice. Fox, snake, mountain, mice, right next to him. Okay? All around here, the White House, and him stepping into it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's read from here. The gang of misery are the troublemakers that the querent could encounter. Okay? The gang consists of the following henchmen: the snake, the fox, the mountain, and the mice. Another card that you should always pay attention to is number 4, the house. Oh, what's right there?
Right next to it.
Right next to it, okay? With these surrounding cards, you always have to deal with dishonesty and opposition. All these cards indicate that the querent should be especially cautious with regards to people or developments in his or her environment. Okay? And then it tells you why the house, you don't want the house in the first 2 columns in the middle. Domestic strife.
It's funny that the house is right there by all those cards.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. There was another place I found something. Right here. It's a warning that people or situations could be disturbing your harmony of life. Okay. When on top of that, the gang of misery creeps into your comfort zone, all of these are within the comfort zone of the house. Okay.
Yeah. Who wants a mouse in their house, right?
You know, creeps into your comfort zone. It is advisable to be very cautious. Okay. Let me see in other locations. Let me see. There was something else that I found here. Right here. The fox is a card that warns you to be on your guard. The closer the cunning animal falls to your significator card, the greater the risk to fall into his trap. Be careful with the fox because he's only looking out after his own interests. We know that. He got in here to look after his own interest. Petty, fucking vindictive ego and criminality, okay? And we'll use all kinds of tricks. Manipulation and backstabbing could be affecting the significator. No, it's not affecting him. He's doing it. The fox embodies the first come, first serve principle and is known for its clever and shrewd actions. Okay, let me see. And that's if it's far, because I always talk to you guys about near and far and all that stuff in the tableaus. So, and then it talks about, you know, how you want something, the mice close and this and the, what do you call it? The cross close. So that's his tableau. Keep this right here. Tuck that away in the back of your mind. The little gang of misery. Okay.
Because it shows up in Kamala's too.
It shows up in Camelia's Grand Tableau.
Oh, and Camelia's the other reader Becca was looking at her GT on.
Yeah. Now, Camellia did this tableau to see who would win the presidency. Okay. Who was going to be the next president? Not when, who was going to be the next president. So let me put that out.
Oh, you're going to lay hers out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to lay hers out because I only have this. Well, I have another deck, but I don't have the space with all the encyclopedias and reference material.
Yeah. So a lot of you are asking questions, which we talked about some in yesterday's video, but use your common sense. Biden's not going to talk openly about this till they have all their ducks in a row. Intelligence is not going to talk openly about it till they got all the information and everything. So yeah, this is very behind the scenes, quiet, hush, hush. again, Mercury retrograde. It's quiet. It's a little bit behind the scenes. So, talking about timing and everything, my thoughts on timing is, they'll start letting the public know. They're going to have to let the Senate Intelligence Committee know before they announce to the public. But I think that'll be like bam, bam, very fast. Like they'll tell them and then come out to the public with it. Because you got people like Jim Cornyn sitting on the Intelligence Committee, from Texas. So they're going to go running to Trump like, but there's things that have to get done before the electors are named in each state by the December 17th. We were not, because Becca looked at it, there's not going to be a change of electors because the votes will have to get changed when they find the missing votes and everything, and figure out the hacking. The votes, the numbers will change in each state before they name the electors. So to me, it'll all be resolved before December 17th. They've got to move fast on it, though.
And here's I was talking to Jenny today, and I was telling her the last couple of days I've been poring over the stuff like, what the fuck, looking for answers. And that's part of my craziness. If something bad happens, I don't sit around and cry and mope. I start looking for answers and solutions. That's what you and Johnny call Becca mode. Like the shit hits the fan, and instead of crumbling, I'm on it. I'm looking for a way out, And I was talking to Peanut yesterday, and Peanut was saying, he's like, well, think about it. We only have to deal with it for 2 years until the next election. And then, we can overturn and yada, yada, yada. And I was telling him, I was like, I am super concerned right now with what's going on globally because of what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Israel and Gaza, all this other stuff. And I was like, and Trump has already said on more than one occasion that he would just let Russia steamroll into the Ukraine and get us out of NATO. And I was talking to Jenny, and I was like, I just don't see how Biden would just hand over the keys to the kingdom to a madman who stole the election
by working with an enemy.
So that we can abandon our NATO allies and just let Russia take over the whole fucking world. I just don't see. And if he does, if he does, girl, I don't know. Because especially with the evidence of Russia messing with all those people that, they caught them. And then the situation here, that's just stuff is not adding up. He's told us a million times, I don't need the votes. I have the votes. Rachel Maddow actually did a show on that the other day where she was like, who tells you that? I don't need your votes. We have all the votes we need. We're going to fix it so good. You're never going to have to
vote again.
That was from Rachel Maddow. So even that made her ears perk up. Do you know what I'm saying? And so not to get conspiratorial, and if this goes ahead and goes along, then it really is a failure on the administration right now to not put a stop to this, because it's absolute insanity with Biden and everybody that knows the stakes overseas, to just give it to a person that is a convicted felon, stole classified documents, sold classified documents, incited an insurrection, cheated in 2 elections, plus this one, so it's just like, I don't know.
A lot of people are asking all these individual questions. I'll be posting on my community tab for questions for Sunday night's Petty Boots. Adrian from Red Lentil is going to be joining us. So y'all put, a lot of these questions. Becca's going over these GTs. These questions you can put on my community tab post when I put it out there for Sunday night. I usually put it out, Friday or Saturday sometimes. So.
And like you guys were saying, the math does not equal the results. There's numbers missing, so, and he's been a man his whole life. We know this. So
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a little more drink before you start this one.
Okay, I'll just wait. I'll just chat with people in the chat. So I think that the lady that Jen posted, I know, J-Lo. I know. And hey, Terry. So this is, what's that?
I'm back.
So Camellia was asking, this is Camelia's Grand Tableau, and I will say this again. I am not in the practice of reviewing people's Grand Tableaus, period. I'm only doing this to compare to mine.
Okay. May I just say one thing too? When you pull a Grand Tableau, like when Becca does it, when Camellia does it, I'm sure she does too, you really have to concentrate as you're shuffling and as you're pulling the cards. So it's not, I don't read someone else's card pull either, even in tarot, because I might pull different cards, or the energy might be different, what I'm picking up on. It's the same thing, I'm sure, with GTs. It's like, so don't be sending her everybody else's Grand Tableaus to look at.
And that's the thing. I've already been getting emails from people. Oh, look, I did this GT and Elon and Trump stole it with Starlink, and that's fine. That's great. I just want you to know I'm not in the practice of reviewing anybody else's. Camellia is a reader. I believe she's in Germany. I don't know. She taught at the Lenormand. What was the name of it? It's like a convention, I guess. It was online. It was during COVID. So I really, she teaches Lenormand as well. T, please stop telling me what to do. For the love of God.
The cards are in focus. If your screen looks blurry, if you will go in the top right corner where you have the little wheel button and click on your settings, you can up the quality of your video. So if it's on like 180, raise it to 480 or 720. It makes the cards clearer. That's not Becca, that's you. So, these cards are very clear.
So anyways, so this is Camelia's Grand Tableau. Her question, all she wanted to know was who was going to be the president of the United States. And she predicted it would be Kamala Harris. Why? Because the house is right here, closest to her. She's also got the sun here with the lilies, and she's got the botanical cards right in her line. The sun is shining here, and it's shining on her, and it's shining on the garden that you can't see, and it's shining on the birds. Okay, so the light of the sun is coming to her, to here, and to the, you can't see it down there, garden right here. Okay, and because of its proximity to her. All right. Check this out. What did I just talk about with the book? That if the spine of the book is closest to the person, the closer it is, the more like super crazy super secrets you have. What's that, Jen?
It's going to open up the other way, right?
Yes. Well, follow his line up here. He achieved something. And the reason she had Kamala Harris winning was because the house was closest to her. He has to leapfrog 1, 2, 3, 4 to get here. It's way out of reach. There's no way in hell if we're applying the rule of near and far. Okay. That was all she was looking at. She didn't really, if you go on her website and read her explanation of what she got when she did this, it appears that she was only applying near and far. And because of the near and far, it's closest to her. He has to leapfrog all of this. Well, remember that this right here is the Providence cluster. Okay, that's over her head. I found that in this book, page 104. Let me see. Just to read it to you really quick. The Providence cluster. The original Petit Lenormand's instructions from the 19th century, which is this, okay, speak of providence. This term used to be described what a higher power has in store for you, what is provided to you, and what your fate is. The bouquet, the child, and the lilies. So she's got the bouquet, the lilies. The child is a little bit out of reach, but she's got 2 of the 3, so it's still considered a cluster. Okay. All of them belong in the Providence cluster. Let me see. So here's an example, and you see how he's got the bouquet and lilies right over the significator? She's got the same thing. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so I got that. Now, that was her. Who's texting me? Hold on. Okay. He has achieved what he has because of a foreign enemy that gifted him something. This is not what she saw. This is me interpreting this. Okay. So she had the, she had the letter as the results of the election, the anchor as the determination to get to presidency, the house as the White House, the woman is Kamala Harris, and the man is Trump. Okay. Now, the anchor is sitting closest to him, but however, he achieved that because of an enemy. And there's Starlink right there. See that? A link, star. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
This enemy is from abroad. It sits in the house of ship. There's the ship in the house of bouquet. The bouquet sits on the house of clouds. They gave him something. Okay. The man is in the house of storks to improve him so that he improves. And then the cross is sitting right here in the house of rain because he couldn't do it on his own. He couldn't. He's too far away from the garden, meaning he's not popular. Okay. Does that make sense? Remember the Gang of Misery? It's right here.
The mice.
The mice and
the fox.
Snake. The mice.
The snake. Everything you don't want in your house.
It's right here, closest to him. If you follow the diagonal, which is a line of influence, he lost. Okay, this is Camellia Ellis's. He lost. This coffin right here is in the house of book. The book is in the house of dog. The dog is right here in the house of mountain. Okay, his loss, he's keeping secret that he has an ally with an enemy that gifted this to him. And he lost.
Stole it with the mice down there.
And he stole it, and he's keeping it under wraps. This right here, look at the cards that we're looking at near and far. In her tableau, there's nothing around him that's positive at all. It's all negative. This is a neutral card. That's negative, that's negative, that's negative. It sits below him, so he feels like he's in control of it, but it's still affecting him. And these are close. Does that make sense? And he knights up here to the mountain. That's close. Okay. Another interesting thing. Look, here's Trump on his way to the White House. Doop, 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 doop. He has to leapfrog over all of this. So let's read from here to here. The man got a bump from a secret ally with an enemy from abroad that gifted him the win. He's keeping it super quiet because his ass would be grass, okay? The child in the tower, to give him new stuff and raise him in elevation, but that's problematic because that's also stolen. See? There's the enemy from abroad attacking something official. The child in the house of tower, small governments, new governments, or smaller ones, big trouble with the ballots. This sits in the house of letter, and the letter is up here. The results are doubtful. People don't trust them. Does that make sense? Also, the ballots here are sitting in the house of scythe. What did we see over here? The ballot, card number 20.
The scythe's right next to it.
The scythe is right next to it. There's another correlation between mine and hers. Okay.
Hacking.
Yep. And then the hacking here is in the stars, is in the house of stars. Okay. In his tableau. Let me see. Wait, am I looking at the right one? Okay. So in his tableau that I did, ballots are stolen and missing, and it's hacked here. Here it's showing elections hacked, okay? Follow his line. Going back to that, the man has a secret that he got this because he got it from a friend that's an enemy to help him get into the White House. This is the same as his tableau. This is the same as in Donald Trump's tableau that I did. Man, house, fox. House, fox. Okay? In this right here, it says that this would be like a burglary. Well,
Sneaking into the hen house.
Yeah, this is like a burglary right here. Look at her line this way. She was hacked and manipulated to take away and steal. Wait, let me go back to hers. Manipulation and taking stuff away. It's the same as the one that I did for Donald Trump. Fox is sitting in the house of mice. Okay? So this line right here, this is the same in her tableau than it shows up in mine. Okay? Now, we know that he stole it from her in his tableau, the one that I did and the one that Camelia did. Okay? The question is there a solution to the problem?
If you finish that line, house fox whip would be abuse or
an attack.
And an attack.
Yeah.
A hacking attack. Got it.
And it's not just a hacking attack. It's like a satellite or something was used and weaponized against it, because this as a thing is pillows and magnets, but the moon is actually also our natural satellite as a thing. The moon is a satellite to the earth. Here's a weapon. This is a hack into a star, scythe in the house of star. And there's the whip. So it's like some sort of a cyber attack, but they got it at a point of entry. Now, this would be the point of entry here.
The
Look at it
access.
this way. There's the access point here. Okay, so there's the stars in the house of house. Here's the house right here in the house of crossroads. Crossroads right above it in the house of bear. So it's almost like right here, if you follow it this way, there is a list of people to hide and take away from and cut off. And I was telling Jen, I said, I wonder if when they got into the machines in Arizona and Colorado and all that stuff, the cyber ninjas,
Here in Illinois. Oh, yeah, the Cyber Ninja guys.
they stole information or something like that, because it's too targeted. They know specifically where to go.
That's what Russia did in 2016 here in Illinois, because I live here in Illinois, and we were notified, watch out for identity theft, because our system got hacked and they have personal information from your voter registration.
Okay, so the question is, we know he stole it. He knights down here to the mice. Well, he's on the diagonal. His loss, he stole it. He's claiming to win. Look how far if this is a win, look how far away it is from him. The moon is far away from him. The stars is far away from him. The sun is far away from him. It's not close. It's not close to Kamala either. Okay, so his victory, no, it's not. It's questionable at best, and especially when you look at this line. This is sitting in the house of Bouquet. Or Bouquet is sitting in the house of clouds. There's your key in the house of child. Sun in the house of garden, but it's clouded over. Do you see what I'm saying? Now,
read that, because I heard the card names. I didn't hear the meaning.
The meaning is whatever he was gifted is questionable. People doubt it. This is sitting in the house of letter. It knights to the letter. The results are being doubted and questioned. It's not accepted. Do you see what I'm saying?
We see that all over social media right now. Everybody's like, what?
Yeah, and for those that I only go on social media to see, because I'm trying to keep track of people that are saying, their ballots weren't counted or ballots were being returned that they weren't counted. Just all sorts of fuckery. The finger pointing and blaming, the Dems, the Dems catered too much to the Republicans, so that's why they lost, or the Democrats have a messaging problem, yada, yada, yada. The answer is right in front of your fucking face. The guy stole it in 2016. He tried to steal it in 22. He stole it again. So stop pointing fingers. And for those of you in the audience, please don't engage in that. But I'm saying this to lawmakers. Stop pointing fingers and look at this guy. Okay, look at this guy. So what was I saying?
What's going to happen now?
Hers, it got stolen from her. The mice sits too far away. So this appears to be, she's going to have trouble here. There's trouble trying to get back what she stole. It's too far away. Do you see what I'm saying? She doesn't touch it. All right. But there is a solution right up here. This is your solution. This is sitting in the house of child. Now, let me look at this. The solution to this is the person that is friendly to her in the executive is going to have to look into it. He's going to have to look into it, the official results this way. And then when you go this way, we're going to need to have patience. They're going to find fraud. And that the election was hacked here. Do you see what I'm saying?
So it's like Biden has to tell intelligence, look into it, because
there's no way. Look at all the trouble around him. Look at all this trouble. He touches here, here, and here. Yeah, those cards are below him, but look how close he is to a foreign enemy here that he's entangled with. Also, you and I were talking about
We were talking about also Secretary of State is over election integrity and all those commissions, as well as our intelligence. So
people in
Lincoln
Philly,
will have to get involved.
people in Philly, I saw today on Twitter, were already lining up in front of the official buildings, starting to protest to recount the election because their votes were not fucking counted. Do you see what I'm saying? How did he win Philly? It makes no sense. So her solution is going to take time, but it's like they discover this right here, how they got in and who gave them access, where they got it from, because here's the access right here, internet, and it's in the house of house. Okay, stars in the house of house, so access and to the networks and the maps, access here, and then that's how they got in and stole it.
And in the house of house, that means like at a state level, like getting into each state's system, because each state has kind of a different system.
And it's multiple states here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from there, they can identify, this would be something like malware or something. So it's not like they were switching them real time. It was probably some sort of a code or something. But
yeah,
okay.
When it gets so many votes in, then it starts changing the totals and stuff.
Or or they were giving, because here, where's the letter? This is in the house of Scythe. Scythe is over here in the house of stars. Stars in the house of house, which goes back to the crossroads. If there's an official list that was transferred and moved, so that's why I kept going back to the voting machines that they got into in the cyber ninjas. Do you see what I'm saying? Perhaps Elon Musk also had a thing where he got into the voter rolls. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So there's that. Now, I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up. I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up at all. Okay. This says that there is a solution, that this is discovered, that all this shit here is going to come out. Okay.
The book will open up. The secrets will flood.
Okay. The official results change. It changes. There's going to be fighting in court, though. And this motherfucker is going to scream that they stole it. It was official, and then it's not official, yada, yada. Well, here's the discovery. Right here. And this way. And this way. Do you see what I'm saying? And they have a very small window. Very small. Like 2 months?
Less than 2 months.
2 months,
The electors are supposed to be named on December 17th, and we're on November 7th right now. So they've got to get all the proof and evidence fast.
The oath.
But they already know we were being hacked and stuff because of all the bomb scares.
It happened in real time. Bomb threats only in places, they were very targeted. Okay. And here is also right here. If they were using satellites to ping, there's your bomb threats right here. There's something here that's using a satellite of some sort, hacking on the internet with a weapon and delivering news. Okay. This is what's being delivered here. There's your bomb threat. But that
was probably just subterfuge, so that they wouldn't notice they're also, hacking us and getting into the election systems.
And not just hacking, but hacking while also at the same time suppressing votes to get people to go away and not come back. We saw that happen in real time over 40 times alone in Georgia, and he needed to win Georgia. And what happened? He won Georgia. Okay. So this woman right here, she's very suspicious. And she's, you know what I mean? She's like, she sits in the house of lilies. She's being very gracious about it, you know, and it shows in her tableau as well that she conceded and is very gracious about it. I'll touch on her tableau here in a minute. Now, an oath. What is an oath, Jen? Can you break that down for me?
An oath, a promise, commitment.
Achieving an oath delayed. Him achieving an oath is delayed. Here. And if you look at her corners, the news of something arriving, when it comes to light that it was hacked here, there's going to be some pain and suffering. And he's going to go, if I'm interpreting this correctly, he goes to the court and starts screaming. When all of
the
this,
whole stop the steal is going to happen again.
Because this right here says that the oath is delayed. There's a promise that gets delayed. Some sort of an agreement that gets delayed here because of a foreign enemy. This sits in the house of ship. A foreign enemy. There's the foreign person that gifted him something to overturn something legal. Okay. So I was telling Jen in a private conversation, if this is Joe Biden, there's the enemy from abroad that overturned. He knows about the conversations that were being had with somebody in tech. Okay. These two people are very, very close. You know, there's a lot of trust and loyalty within here. Okay. I was telling Jen today on the phone, I was like, I don't see Joe Biden rolling over and just letting Trump take over when he's told us repeatedly what he's going to do. He has an enemies list. He's talking about he's talking about how they're going to start deporting all these people and what they're doing to prepare for it, how they're going to crash the economy, yada, 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 yada.
Biden's made very clear his feelings on Trump, and Dark Brandon will come out.
I hope Dark Brandon comes out, because it would be a fucking global catastrophe, you know. And I'm not saying that as hyperbole. We've been through 4 years and we barely fucking made it, you know. And now with unchecked power, with full control of the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court, who the fuck is going to stop them? You know? So if I am interpreting this correctly, achieving a promise is delayed. Okay.
So it could be inaugurations delayed even.
Yeah. So there's that. And this is saying that something from abroad, the ballots here that were official were changed. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to jump on to, hold on, 4 and 14. Well, yeah, we already went through how this is exactly the same as it is in mine. And the little cluster of fuckery here, the little cluster there. Let me see, what else did I have?
What's in her line of fate? I think you went over it, but I forgot.
This is not her. This is somebody's line of fate.
Oh, okay.
Because she just did this to see who will be the next president.
On the
She didn't ask.
election.
Let me make that very clear. She didn't ask who will win the election. She asked who will be the next president. And she was going off of this. Okay, so that's where the two lines were intersecting. The line of fate is mice. There's your thievery. Something very, 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 very important. Someone got access and stole a bunch of shit. There's your treachery right there in the house of fish. A lot of treachery. A lot of it. This ain't just a fucking sprinkle in the bucket. This is like a fucking downpour. Okay? And then the public, what the public desires here. Does that make sense?
Like stealing from the public.
No, it's not stealing from the public, because then it would be
Or
this
stealing, yeah.
Okay, it would be that way if they stole something from the public, you know.
Gotcha.
So and the thing with this is they're going, the key is the house, the key is the card for answers and looking into things, okay, where the book is more like you need to research. So here would be your research. I would not be surprised if there's people already looking into this. This sits in the House of Mountain. So people that are trustworthy within agencies here that could be looking into stuff, because there's an enemy involved. There's ballots here that were attacked, results that were attacked, and secret allies or allies that are looking into things as well. Okay.
See, I figured because everybody was kind of looking into Moldavia, it looks like, or Moldova. Thank you, Anna. It wouldn't surprise me if Biden's having conversations with like Britain or somewhere else.
Here, look, conversations here. This is in the House of Tree. This is in the House of Child. So there might be some really important meetings that are going on right now. This right here would be like Department of Homeland Security or some sort of department that has to do with security and protection. Let me see here. So I don't know what the ABC exactly, FBI, CIA, Department of Homeland Security,
National Security, and
you know, one of those alphabets. But that's right here. And if you look at the book as you move to the right, all of this gets opened up. Okay.
And fed into Biden, it looks like. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah. So, you know, in this bouquet, in this grand tableau, the bear is sitting in the House of Woman, and it's before her here in the House of Lilies. This shows her being an executive woman over the public here. Okay. He is surrounded by super bad cards, and he needs to leap from here all the way over here, and he can't do it on his own. He's got to do it this way. And the first three cards that open up the theme, achieving a promise is delayed here. All right. And then the heart of the tableau, significant changes. Something gets changed. All right. And then a lot of success and trust as well. But right there, there's something that's changed. Very, very important changes. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
In that video from that girl, the astrologer, and like I said, I was like, I'm with her. And I said it the other day on Jenny's channel. I am not taking any of this shit at face value. It stinks to high hell. It doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. He told us he was going to do it. You know, he's been telling us he was going to do it. And because Mercury is retrograde and everything, that girl gave specific dates on her channel that she said she would not be surprised if something changes.
Thank you, Bebo.
Thank you, Bebo.
Yeah, like something has to get redone. It has to get looked at again. And
she said that, you know, she would not be surprised if something changes. Now, the dog sits close to the woman. Okay, so I'm wondering if these are also allies that they're having conversations with, because we talked about that earlier. Moldova, Romania, Lithuania, all of them were fucking hacked by Russia because Russia has a special interest in that region. And in order to win the war, they need America to stop funding Ukraine so they can just go in there and ransack the place. You know, so
thank you so much, Bonnie and Roberta.
So
create division.
So there's that. Okay. So I would not be surprised if those conversations are being had and he doesn't know about it. Because the spine of the book is facing him, he doesn't have any idea about any of this.
That they're investigating it.
That they're investigating. And
keeping him in the dark. So when he finds out, He's going to go apeshit nuts. It's going to be hysterical.
This is not a GT that is on a video. This is a Grand Tableau done by Carmelia Elias, and you have to subscribe to her Patreon. And it's not a video. It's not a video. It's a what do you call it? Like a Patreon write-up form. I forget the name of it. I'll post the link on my community page. The astrologer that I'm talking about, Jen, shared the video on her community page, so go watch that and give her some love.
Lucky Girl also posted a link to it in the chat, but you can go to my community page. I'm not deleting it. It stays there. Just scroll down the community tab and you'll see that video. I also highly recommend watching Keith Olbermann's video that I posted a link to. Mm-hmm. That astrologer has been getting the shit kicked out of her since her elected. She's like, it's not over yet. She's like, I'll believe it when he takes, the oath, when he's inaugurated.
When he takes the oath. And I'm, I said that on Jen's video on Wednesday. I was like, I'm going to remain defiant. I am not accepting this because no.
I'm standing behind it. It's going to be Kamala taking the oath. Thank you, Courtney.
So now I'm going to do Kamala's GT so we can look at that one really quick, just as a review.
We all hear, as they're saying in chat, puppy crying. That's My Little Pony, my little niece, Braxy.
I got to take her out for a walk before she goes nuts, so I won't be on much longer. Until he's inaugurated,
anything can happen right now. And another influence right now, we go into the age of Aquarius on November, is it the 16th when Pluto moves into Aquarius? Double check me on the dates on that, but Capricorn, where it's at right now, is, as Becca puts it, it's all about authoritarian, that kind of patriarchal kind of energy. When you move into Aquarius, it's all about the people, the bottom up, all the things that Kamala has been talking about. So that's a big influence. In that video with that astrologer, she talks about Mars and Pluto and how that is really going to mess with Trump's astrology chart. And that kind of blows things up a little bit too. So,
and also Lori did a video, a few days ago. I think it was the day after the election. You guys might want to go watch that one too. And even Lori's like, I think if I remember correctly, I am not putting words into Lori's mouth. If I remember correctly, because I was trying to watch the video while I was working. And so I'm incapable of splitting my attention like that. So I might've missed something, but she doesn't think this is over either. And Lori said, he's been telling us he's going to do this,
Thank you, Mimi.
So
can you pull that line over to the left a little bit? And it's, there you go. Okay. Thanks.
I'll
let you get it laid and then ask you to pull the camera down.
I was, like I said, I was talking to Jen. I was like, they are aware of what Russia's been doing abroad. They know that this guy is associated with Russia. They know what he did the last time. They know all the crimes he's committed in office and outside of office. They know all the crimes that were pending. They know what's at stake globally to just hand this madman the keys. And I hope to God that they can get the sufficient evidence, for all of this so that they can say, because they can't just say, no, I'm not going to certify. I'm not going to, step away, which, to be fair, the Supreme Court said you can do whatever the fuck you want. So do it, Dark Brandon. Fucking do it.
Okay, while you're finishing laying that, I'm going to run to the little girls' room because somebody's drinking too much fluids while you're going through these.
Okay. So, saying it again, I'm not getting my hopes up, or I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say. Let me clarify that again for those of you in the back. I am not trying to get anybody's hopes up, but until somebody is taking the oath on January 6th, I ain't buying this shit. And I am not buying that they're just going to roll over and let them do it either, is what I'm trying to say. And I got to make this one quick because I got to take my kid. And it kind of pissed me off. You know, I feel you guys, you know, because I'm the same.
Bad hair day.
With, you know, Joe Biden did a speech today that, you know, we will get through this and yada, 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 yada. And it appears on its face like he's just rolling over. That girl in the astrology video was saying that there's stuff going on right now that affects Trump negatively that he is not aware of. Is that what she said? Or am I misrepresenting that, Jen?
Is it
about his 12th house, that there's stuff going on right now that Trump.
Yeah, the Mars and Pluto mess is impacting his 12th house, which is secretive. So it's all kind of happening behind the scenes. We're not going to see a lot in public at first.
And he doesn't know that it's going on either, you know? So, and that's an effect right now, or is that coming into effect later on? Because there were dates. And
yeah, I forget when Mars and Pluto, because Mars goes retrograde, and was it Pluto or Saturn it's impacting? I can't remember. I got to rewatch the video. Anyway, Mars goes retrograde, and it has a huge impact on Trump, and that's later. So, like, but before inauguration, it's like December, I think.
Mm-hmm. So
y'all can watch the video. I'm getting too many dates screwed up in my head. We're still kind of running on limited sleep.
Yeah, I had a fairly busy day at work today. It's a long weekend for us with Veterans Day. I know, baby. I'm gonna take you out. Hold on. So I'm gonna try to make this one quick. This one is Kamala Harris's GT. We talked about this one. I did this one in September. So she's right here. Here's her losing. Wait, September, October, November. There's the stuff in December. And look at this again. Do you see that? So the cards that are directly above her head have the most
officially changing it.
Have the immediate impact. Now, with that said, these are very negative, very, very horribly negative cards that are crowning her. Okay. So all of this is weighing down. All of it is weighing down on her. This is a very painful, bruising, punishing loss. And it's not just that. Look at the moon and the sun. She's got those two luminaries very close. So they kind of relieve some of this, but the damage is done. The cross is sitting on the moon. This is such a bruising, punishing loss that it was humiliating. Does that not sound petty to you?
Sounds so like a petty Trump. Yeah.
Like a petty fucking Trump. Okay. And then she knights over here to the clouds, but she's above it. And it's close, but it's not right on her. And she's above it. So this is something that she can control. Okay. Donald Trump, in that reading, I had him as the clouds, because the clouds is the most negative card in the entire Grand Tableau. It is even more of a troublemaker than the coffin. Is everybody following? So compared to Trump's Grand Tableau, remember he had to
go for 4 cards. He had to leap
over 4. She only has to jump over these 2. It's still far, but everything's right here.
But it's also in the heart of her tableau.
And it's also in the heart of her tableau. Something official with the elections, and then a promise for this right here, the oath for this. So even though this sits far away, she's still going in that direction. Is that making sense? So, and she still has the luminaries in her line, not above her, but it's in her line. Okay. This tableau, she has the whip in its own house. We talked about that. And the lilies in her own house. Okay. She's got 2 of the clusters of prominence here next to the garden, which is how she's viewed in the public. But the sun is illuminating here, and it's illuminating here. Okay. My concern is it also nights here to the coffin. But it looks like, if we were talking about answers, her answer and solution, it's a little bit far away, and she's going to have to be very patient with it. Whip in its own house, attacks, criticisms, sex, fights. Okay. Lilies in its own house, grace. It's morality, patience, virtue, character. Okay, so she has accepted defeat with grace and virtue. However, they're looking into this because there's knowledge of all this stuff right here, and this person, and all this right here, and a foreign powerful enemy hacking a lot. Does that make sense? Sorry, Braxy's going crazy because she needs to go out and go for a walk. And this way here, it says that the official, we saw that too. Hold on. Oh shit.
Oops, the official election.
Hold on. God damn it, Braxy.
He's getting so big.
I know. Right here, it says that there's a change. And it shows up in camellias as well. Tower, storks. The crossroads is a little bit far, but it shows tower and storks here. That's another similarity between hers and mine. And then, hold on. Let me see what it is over here. Tower and storks is in his as well. But it was done in secret by an enemy. An attack, whip in the house of house. An attack in certain states to change something, overturn it in secret. And then there's the tower, make it official, and then there's the enemy. Okay? So it's like you're seeing the same themes in all 3 tableaus.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. 2 that are mine and 1 that from, I don't know Camellia personally. I've only studied under her in conventions and stuff. No, Braxy has access to go potty. She has a doggy door. She just wants to go for a walk. Let me see hold on, because I made notes on this one. So this right here would be an unexpected success. Okay, remember, she's got these 3 very bad negative cards on top of her. So they're weighing her down. Go back to what I said. You want the cross close because, yeah, while it sucks and the cross is sitting on the moon, they damaged her. They tried to humiliate her and make her small and petty. They thought it was a joke. They thought it would be funny this way, a funny joke to be petty and make her look, bad because of what she said in a debate. What she said in a debate, how she demeaned him to his face. We're going to do this to you. We're not going to just make it a little loss. We're going to fuck you in the ass kind of thing. Does that make sense? So this cross is sitting heavy on her. The mice is bringing a lot of chronic anxiety. but it's also close enough that, remember what I said, you want out of all the negative cards, these are the two that you want the closest, because with the mice, you have a better chance of getting back what was stolen. And it was something that someone broke in and stole. And it was like, hold on, I wrote a note here. Hold on. A failed burglary. Okay. Failed burglary. Or you're going to find out where the perpetrators are. And I will show you that in the book. Hold on. Let me go to page 95. Let me see. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, there's the mice. Okay. Burglary, theft, stolen goods. So that's about a burglary into a querent's home, which the house is not close by. The house in the middle of the spread under the significator, it doesn't apply here because it lands in the middle of the spread, but it does not sit below her. It sits below this person. Okay. Serves as a warning in regards to your home. When the mice and fox are entering the picture, it is advisable to watch out for burglary. Well, there's the mice, and the fox is, where did he go? He's way on the other side, so he doesn't fall into that.
They're kind of spread apart.
Mm-hmm. The mice near or very near could describe a foiled burglary or a burglary where the perpetrators are caught during the act or possibly later. Because it sits so close right above her, they're already looking into this. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like they might have seen it going on and already catching it.
In that case, it will be possible to recover the stolen goods or get the compensation via an insurance company or throughout. The closer, and they're not close. The closer the cards like the clouds or the scythe, they're not close. They don't even night. It's not even on the same line. There was something else I wrote. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make this short because my kid's having a freaking heart attack.
She's having a little tantrum.
This is a little bit negative as well because the birds brings nervousness here. Okay. But it's short-lived and temporary. Now, if you look down this line here, okay, you have a man that's from abroad or a man that went on a trip. He's a powerful financial man that's a bit of a jokester, has addictions, okay? There's the enemy.
There's your Leon, as Trump calls him.
And if you look, these are almost the same exact positions that show up in Elon Musk's tableau. And his tableau is Clover and Man. Let me see. It's Clover and Man in his. Hold on. Let me see. JD Vance. Clover, Man, Crossroads. So he partook in the elections to achieve something that he wants, and it has to do with business. And he did it in partnership with an enemy to steal something. Okay. If you look at his line, this person's success being delivered.
Oops.
Oopsie daisy. Okay. But here, let me see what else I wrote down on these notes. Sorry, I'm trying to make this quick. Let me see. And
also being delivered to Trump because Trump's the clouds.
Yeah, Trump in this tableau is the clouds, okay, because he's delivering it to Trump, but it's not successful. So here we are in November, okay. There's something official, an executive agency, but it protects the house. Bear in the house of house, okay. It protects, think of Mama Bear.
It protects the homeland.
Okay, think of Mama Bear. There's an agency here that knows where the link is in the network. This is sitting in the house of Garden. Garden is sitting in the house of, right below it, in the house of Man. There's the coffin. Okay. Another thing about this tableau is she knights to the tower. And right here, there's litigation. See that?
Mhm.
Suffering a loss because it was stolen. Something official gets an official decision changes. And then they achieve the results because they stole something and cut it out. Mice in the house of Scythe. Okay. She sits close to the tower. When you're looking at near and far, you want the tower close because it's longevity, but it also gives you a vantage point. Okay. So from here, she can climb up to the mountain and look around and see what happened. Get a clearer picture of what's around her. Okay. So if you look at this, a man that's powerful, that's very rich with an enemy. Okay. This person has contracts with the government and departments that are supposed to protect and defend. Does that make sense? This person
contracts with the enemy too, it looks like.
Yeah. And he's in agreement with the enemy here.
Yeah.
In agreement, they're linked, they're working together. Okay. Now, if this is a loss, okay, because her tableau shows the loss, but it's in the very, very, very bottom in the line of fate. And when I don't look at the pips, it just shows a loss, a lot of chaos and confusion and disruption comes to an end, and the betrayal is exposed and she gets what she wants. It's going to come with suffering though. And because the whip sits in its own house and the lilies sits in his own house, she's going to get a bunch of fucking criticism. You stole it. It was official and you stole it.
Just like Biden did. I mean, all 4 years of his presidency, the big steal, it was stolen. It was stolen. She's going to get the same.
Do the same thing to her, even when all of this happens. Okay, they're going to attack her character. They're going to attack her morals. They're going to all the way around. It's not going to let up. Her line of fate: clouds, coffin, snake, and heart. Okay, confusion. Big problems come to an end. The end, put as period. And then there's your betrayal and your treachery. And then she gets what she desires. Okay. If it would have been this way, forget it. Put a pin in it. It's over. She gets what she wants, but it comes at a cost. Let me see here. Hold on. There was something else. Okay. So she can climb up here and look at the bigger picture. That's when you see all this. And we touched on that already. So her escape route would be this way. And it would be to look everywhere where there was official results that came in and how they were tampered with here and how they got taken away and are missing. Does that make sense? The hack here. Hacking elections, getting the answers. Let me see. This is in house mice. Stuff that was stolen. Right here, crossroads to the key. The answer is something was stolen. This sits in the house of mice. Okay. And it was done in secret. Because the book ends this line, she's going to find out about all of this. Right here. Right here.
If they bump her numbers up against Biden's, that will show in a nutshell some of the areas that they massively hacked into.
Okay, so her line, if this is a department, an official department that is a guardian, and you look at where the claw sits to see what it's protecting. It's protecting
security.
Yeah, and it also has something to do with communications because this sits in the house of birds. Okay. And there's a contract here as well. Okay. So, and then also reading it as an enemy, this is an enemy, a powerful enemy represented by a bear that attacked her to make her small and be petty, make her small and be childish. Does that make sense? And it was this right here, embarrassing and humiliating is what they did. Or what they try to do because they're fucking petty and stupid. But all this stuff right here, she finds out. There's Starlink right there. A contract with Starlink that and something and how it's connected to an agency that protects and it's like the mama bear, okay? Protects against enemies. So this right here would be like the Department of Homeland Security.
Right. So where Elon has access, our Homeland Security, because we have government contracts with them, are going to have access too.
They're
going to be able to figure it out.
All this stuff, she's going to find out because this ends her line. She's going to learn all this as she goes. And then to reiterate on the line of fate, I had assigned this card to be read as Donald Trump as well because it is the King of Clubs and it is the most problematic card in the deck. He loses the end. And then there's the betrayal, a massive fucking betrayal.
So the coffin's like the 5 of Cups. He's the loser.
No, the coffin is worse than the 5 of Cups. This is the end. Ruin. Like you're dead. Dead, ruined. You're not coming back from this sort of thing. Does that make
not
sense?
Physically dead, guys? She's just meaning like he is done in.
Just to know, and the Lennies, this can also mean like a physical death of something, whatever's around it. But yeah, that's that. Hold on, let me look at my notes real quick to see. Let me see. Because the mountain sits very far from her, in the old instructions, it says that is protection from a powerful enemy. Well, look what sits right there. So the mama bear on the house, and at night's here too. Against a powerful enemy. The house sits in the house of mountain. The bear sits in the house of house. See what I'm saying? It's all talking. Let me see.
It's amazing. Like Becca can look at this again in another day and start seeing a bunch of other stuff. It's amazing how it talks.
We talked about the foiled burglary and a burglary where perpetrators are caught. Now, her solution, I was having a little bit of a problem with, because of the fact that it's far. The solution, the answer right here, it's far. It's not within reach. It's not within reach. She has to jump over 1, 2, 3, 4 cards before she gets here. And the mice is right over her head. So if the mice was far away, it would be like they stole the cheese and they're already in the wall and you can't get it. They've ran off. Here it's close. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's either a footprint or a digital signature or something where it's like, oh, you motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
You got a mouse in the house.
If the answer comes, because this is the mice, it's like they identify who stole it or where it was stolen. And they'll know.
Even though the key is far away because it's in the house of mice and mice is right on her head, she can get it back pretty quick.
And okay, so follow this train of thought. The key is in the house of mice. You have identified, you found the answer. It got stolen. Mice are thieves. I'm not making this up, y'all. You can look it up in the fucking book. Hold on, let me find the book. Where is it? Where's the club cards? Damn it. Hearts. And remember, all the negative cards fall under the club suite, with the exception of the ring falls under the clubs. The coffin sits under the diamonds because it's unexpected. Death can happen at any time. And agreements and promises are dependent. They're heavy, but they're dependent on the cards around it. So just make note of that. So hold on. I'm looking for the clubs. Where the hell are the clubs? Okay. Worries, loss, theft. So they identified the thieves. What did the thieves do? They hacked. It sits on the house of scythe. Follow the scythe. It sits in the house of snake. It was hacked by someone that is a liar and a betrayer. Here you go. And they achieved it. This is in the house of, what do you call it? Anchor. They achieved it. And then there's Russia here. It sits in the house of Bear, an enemy. And also, and then from there it goes back to the house. That goes back to Russia or the enemy. Do you see what I'm saying? So
the enemy coming into our home, right? Kind of.
That they gained entry. They gained entry. Because here, if this is your access point, how you got in, you look at everything through here. They gained entry through the internet or something that is hooked up to that processes communication electronically. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's like electronic communications. Now, where is El Perro? Okay. Look down this line. There's an ally here. Kind of small, but they're an ally. They got stuff stolen from them too. And look, there's communications between these. Do you see that?
They're helping.
You know, they're talking about, hey, they try to steal it from us, and this is how they did it. Right here. This is how they did it. And we saw that in Moldova, and it's the same thing Elon Musk has been doing here. Buying votes, propaganda, and actually getting into the machines and trying to change the outcome. It's the exact same playbook that they did here, except they got caught in Moldova, Romania, and was it Lithuania, you said?
Lithuania has elections coming up. They did it in Georgia. Somebody in chat said Romania and Moldova.
Yeah. So that's 3 other countries. I don't know if those people are part of NATO, but I'm sure we're allies. Okay. And then if you follow this line here, if that was our friend that was attacked, they share that information with Kamala and other agencies here about how they found it and where they found it. And this election here, it's sitting in the house of child. What's crowning it? An enemy. There's an enemy right up here. Okay, so it's they're looking, I'm sure that they're looking into security and how secure this stuff was.
Well, that whip too is like they are repeating this in multiple countries. They did it here 2016, they did it in 2020, now they're doing it again on a bigger scale.
And I can tell you with absolute certainty that somebody's already looking into it. We did this tableau November 1st. I'm not sure what day I went live with it, so you're going to want to check under my live stream. That's dated November 1st. This is
September 1st, Becca. September, not November.
September 1st, 2024. Right here it says copy with notes because I made all these notes when I was referencing my encyclopedias. This is the month of September. Okay? Write down this line. This is the column for October. This is the column for November. The election has already been declared. Look who's looking into it. There's already somebody looking into it right here. Security, a guardian, a mother, a protector of the home and the house. There's an agency here that's communicating and talking to other people to find a link in the network, how they got the link. And then with the coffin, it's already happened. They're trying to stop it, but it's like, how did they do this? Do you see what I'm saying? Hold on.
The coffin's in the house of key?
No, the coffin is in the house of fish.
Fish.
In abundance, a lot. Okay. So there's that. This is what's currently happening. And it hits her, this line here intersects her line this way. We don't know about this. Remember, she's got the bouquet in her house and the lilies in its own house. She is being very graceful in accepting defeat. She's pissed off, though. She is fucking pissed, I can assure you. I can assure you. She's got the whip over her head about this right here, that this motherfucker did it again. You know? Yeah. So December... And then if you look here, we said the ring is a promise. It's right there. She's walking into it. It's not behind her. It's not to the right of her. She's walking into it. She's going to successfully walk into it once they get the answers and sort this out. That is how I am interpreting this tableau. The corners, again, are the clover, the tree, the fox, and the child. It's almost like they know that this was stolen and manipulated. And then the heart of her tableau is something official with the elections. And right here, the oath into the White House. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that's what I got. And you can't, this woman is a prosecutor. She knows, she's told us, she knows his type.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy is the same playbook.
But he tells on himself.
And he tells himself.
Who says I don't need your votes? Who says that?
You know, and here's the thing. And here's the thing. And not to give anybody any false hope, I am sticking to this. The reason that I started this channel, you can go all the fucking way back, was because I study this stuff. So if I get it wrong, I'll come back on and say, this is where I got it wrong. I am sticking to my tableau, because if you look at the original instructions and you apply the rules of the game, she's walking into this and she's the one that's taking the oath. We saw it. We compared it to Trump's, and we compared it to the one that Camellia Ellis did. Okay. I am sticking to this until that day comes in January. I'm going to stick to this.
I keep asking the angels, bring illumination on all this hacking and corruption. Bring it out, and bring it out quick.
You know, and if you're talking about illumination, well, here's the sun. Okay. The sun is touching all these cards.
Illuminating.
Even though this stuff is sitting on top of it, it's bringing to light the thievery, the chronic thievery, and the attack over and over. And this has a pattern. Okay, they're going to be able to identify a pattern here.
There's a signature to it.
There's a signature, you know, and then it's going to, the sun is shining its rays here, 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 to the elections, to the bouquet, to the bear, and to the dog. That's everywhere that it's shining its light. Regardless of these super heavy cards right here, it still gets alleviated by the two luminaries on her side, if that makes sense. So you guys are free to think what you want to think. I'm just letting you know, I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to keep studying it to see if there's anything else that I've missed. You know, I cannot change the rules of the tableau. You read a tableau. Yes, I miss stuff all the time. And I tell you that all the time. I'm like, I have notes in case I miss something, I can bring it up. This is not for me to gloat. I'm not doing this to gloat in any way. I'm doing this to dot my I's and cross my T's, you know, and for me to learn. And also I saw somebody asking, these are the Petite Lenormand encyclopedias by Bjorn Muris. There's 3 volumes. I would recommend volume 1 and volume 2. You can find these on Amazon. They're expensive because they're independently printed, and they cost me like $34, $35 when I bought them years ago. The other one,
or Google them if you don't want to support Bezos's Amazon.
Don't do that, because then you're taking money away from the author.
So Google where else you can find them.
Else you can, okay. And then the other book, this one I prefer for more in-depth practical daily applications for the cards, because she goes into detail here in this book. This one is always, I always have the name of this in the description box below. What?
That's a great one for beginners.
I would start here, because you don't want to jump into this as a beginner. You are not going to jump into this as a beginner. So I would start here. Now she uses the Hey, baby. She uses the French method for her Grand Tableaus. I got away from that after I took that seminar and I met Karin, the lady that does the tea cards. But this one is more for the traditional method of reading the Grand Tableau based on the
He's got some really interesting, subtle things that you brought up.
He talks about clusters and all that other stuff that she doesn't really get into in her Grand Tableau, because his book is more about learning the cards, not as in depth as here. Okay. This one is more, the way that she discusses the cards in this book is more in line to daily practical modern applications. So the sun, okay, success and all that stuff and optimism and everything else. Okay, that's fine. But as a practical everyday thing, that's your electricity and your light bulbs and your batteries. Do you see what I'm saying? Where that is not applied here, because this is mostly the original instructions from 1903, which is an expansion of this. So these are expensive, but I would not start here. I would not start with these. I would start with this one just to get a basic understanding. Let me see. Did I miss anything else? Did I miss anything else?
Check your start things, because I think we just had some more super chats. You might want.
Oh shit! I can't see them because I'm in the StreamYard.
No, the starred comments in StreamYard shows them.
Oh shit! Hold on. Anita, Rose Blue, Country Elf, Anna, Kelly, Bebo, Bonnie, Roberta,
I call her.
Roberta, Creationist, I think, Courtney, Mimi, Bad Hair Day, Mystic, Jana, Laurel Sorensen, Carmen, and Linda. Thank you so much. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm kind of scatterbrained, but my dog is like going crazy. And hold on.
No, that was awesome. Thank you for going over those again and bringing out some new points too.
So,
go watch her original ones.
My original one, before all this happened, I predicted that she would win because she's stepping into it right here. The way that Trump steps into it is through fraud and manipulation and abuse and all that other shit with the gang of misery right on him, So, and then here it says there's going to be disputes and legal fights because something with in
official election changes,
and here, if the ring is a promise, because that's what an oath is, she steps into it. He has to fight to get there. Do you see what I'm saying? Actually, no, because Trump is down here in the line of
that's not him. That's probably her hubby. Thank you, Roxana.
He's down here. He's all the way down in the line of fate. Do you see what I'm saying? And it shows that he loses, and there's betrayal and treachery here. And then this line here, it says that she suffers some really bad news about the ballots, and then she suffers a very heavy loss here. But that's only a line of influence. That's not where she's going. She's going this way. When you're reading a tableau, you're not going from woman to way over here to see what happens. You're going left or right based on the rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
thank you, ES.
So that's what I have. Let me see if I got anything else. Yeah, so this is her options and her escape route, all right here.
And they're already on it. They're already on it.
They're already on it. There's a protector of home and family. This is in the House of House here. That has a link to certain stuff here in the government. Hold on.
It's like having a safe room.
Yeah. There's the enemy here. It's more than one enemy too. There's a couple of them. It's more than one.
Well, it's probably China and Russia.
Well, hold on. The ship is too far away. for me to be able to say China with absolute
Or
certainty.
it could just be within. It could be like a Leon, as we call him.
You know, there's a couple of them, but there's a protector here in the home that deals with security and everything like that. The dog it would be like
a North Korea, because they're sending soldiers to Russia now.
No, I wouldn't. I would not say that the dog is North Korea.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying North Korea could be helping Putin, you know.
I mean, I'm not sure, but right now, as of right now, if this is the column for November, because she's here September, October, November, they're already looking into this. And also, this is also a person in a position of power that has reins over the government, that has taken an oath to protect the country and the community. So we could also be looking at Joe Biden, quite possibly. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Could be Blinken, our Secretary of State, because he also is over Homeland Security, I believe.
I would not be surprised if there's and not just all of them, but also allies as well who have experienced attacks here.
Bears angled to crossroads, so it could be multiple executives working on it.
Multiple executives for something to do with their elections and how broad it was, an attack from afar. See, bear in the house of house, crossroads here in the house of child, the stars in the house of crossroads, and then ship down here in the house of sun. And not only what we find, but also sharing that information for anybody else that has upcoming elections, because these were tampered with. So, and they were tampered with persistently. But like I said, the mice is right here, so there's a very good chance that they can retrieve this information. And I guarantee you, as soon as those bomb threats started going off in Georgia, I know that the Secretary of State came out and made a press release. I can guarantee you FBI or somebody else was already there.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just going to be like, oh, we can't identify who it was and just walk away and let it happen, especially when it happened over 40 times in one state. And then it happened, I forget what other states it was. I think it was Arizona. I think Philly, maybe.
All the swing states, Georgia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, all the states. And here's your swing states here. We talked about this a few Grand Tableaus back. I can't remember. The one where he got, the last one I did where he got caught with the insurrection. Remember when the overturning of the government was right here? And then the swing states was right here. There's the swing states here. Suffering, thievery, that's chronic, and official, there's your swing states. And the reason I say swing states, this is an action card. This is an action card right here. It can go either way to achieve the results that they wanted, but it's persistent hackery here and attacks. So they're going to look at the swing states right here because this line intersects. Does that make sense? So
absolutely.
Yep. And then here she knows about the phone calls that were made as well. You know, so, but that's what I got. I got to go get my kid. I have my notes here. I can always go back and review stuff again. I need to go back and review Colin Allred's and what's his face? That piece of shit, Ted Cruz, because those I got significantly way off. But
no, I mean, you know, I could see, like, if they hacked and tried to make Kamala look petty and everything, it wouldn't surprise me if they changed enough to give him the House and the Senate too. So it wouldn't surprise me if something's going on there.
They did. Right now, Trump is going to walk in with the majority in the House, a majority in the Senate, and a stacked Supreme Court with no checks. With no,
and it shows in Colin Allred's that if he loses, it's because it's stolen. So they probably hacked certain ones like Ted Cruz and Colin Allred's.
They wanted to hand him a full deck so he can go in there and do everything. And And him, exactly, lucky girl, him winning the popular vote, he's never won the popular vote. I don't care how much propaganda you spin, motherfucker. You ain't winning the popular vote when there's over 20 million votes that are missing. So I just did this to just hop on, not to give anybody false hope. This is just a review of my own GTs from a couple of months ago. And the way I see it, following the rules and who gets in and who gets out, I am going to keep trucking along. I know, baby. I'm going to keep trucking along. And what was I going to say? I can't think because my dog is going nuts.
We'll see you Sunday night on my channel for Petty Boots.
Yeah.
Watch my community tab. I'll post for questions for Sunday night. So all those questions y'all were asking, put them in there and we'll look at them for Sunday night. Check out the astrologer. That's also on my community tab. I can't even remember her name right now. So y'all have to find the video. She doesn't do a lot of political readings, but when she does, she lives in France now, but she's from the US originally.
Yeah. And I would like to say also, besides this, you know, that I'm telling you not to have false hope, do not go in a corner and start crying. Okay. Like, you know, just don't give him that satisfaction. We didn't go through 4 years of hell to bend over and take it in the ass, you know? So I wouldn't advise to do that. It's okay to have feelings and deal with them how you do, but get back up. We got work to do. And
we got work to do. Be vigilant.
You know, and just keep an eye out, you know, don't fall into the finger pointing and it was their fault of, you know, the progressive voted this way and people that, you know, voted for Jill Stein and yada, yada. That's a waste of energy.
Water under the bridge.
Yeah. It's, you know, so.
Votes for Jill Stein, in my opinion, just took away from Trump because she's crazy.
Yeah, just like remember when they had the plot to get JFK in to take votes from Biden, but then it ended up taking votes from Trump, and he was begging
Trump, right?
He was begging him to drop out because it was hurting him, you know. Yeah. So, you know, I can't think straight right now because she's bugging the shit out of me. I had something else to say, I can't remember because you got to look at this kid,
Braxy. He's sitting in the dark there a little bit. Hard to see her.
Look at her. She's just going nuts.
My little pony. Oh my goodness. Poor little me.
What are you going to tell Auntie Biscuits? What are you telling Auntie Biscuits? You're like, I'm starving to death. Mommy won't feed me. I want to go out to the park and run around and be crazy. And what the hell am I doing stuck in this house? Mommy promised. So you see her? She just whines and whines and whines. What?
Look, Trump's gonna be president. I can't survive another Trump presidency.
Yeah, she's like, I hate him. I want to bite him in the balls. No, Braxy, you can't do that. He's got rabies.
Nana Biscuits loves Braxy too. You see that?
So
Nana Biscuits is sending her love.
Nanny Biscuits. Oh, Braxy. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you all go because I gotta take her out walking before she eats my leg or something or cries herself into a coma. So thank you all for hanging out. And you know, we'll see what happens. I'm with that girl on that video. I'm suspending. I not suspending disbelief. I'm just not accepting it until we got 2 months. And even though it appears like he's getting away with it, you know, because they immediately dropped all his criminal investigations, his indictments got dropped, you know, and people were screaming at Merrick Garland because it was, he's like, Merrick Garland took forever to do anything. And as soon as Trump says he won the election, the very next day they drop all the charges, you know, like people were pissed. And I can see why, you know, people are pissed off about that. Joe Biden came out and did an acceptance speech. Kamala Harris conceded. I'm going to take this as there's a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes that we are not aware, because they have enough evidence.
They can't talk about it yet. They have to have all the evidence together.
That this was not on the up and up. It was not kosher. We watched it happen in real time. He's been telegraphing it for fucking months.
There's even saying on social media, a lot of the right-wing people that had big, huge follower counts, that they're dropping because all the Chinese and Russian bots are falling off now.
So they have to make it look like this is me with my own opinion. Don't take what I'm saying at face value. Exactly, Lee. Give him a poker face. Let him gloat. Let's see if he's going to slip up and accidentally admit that, oh, ha, 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 fucking suckers, I stole it. You know what I mean? Like, or something like that. They have to appease him so that there's no social unrest while they look at it, because I just don't. I don't see a
Y'all
world.
be aware too, when you're watching these other readers and us, the MAGA trolls are starting to show up in our comments again. We haven't had them for a while. They're kind of gloating and trolling, so just ignore them. When we find them, we block them, so they can't come back. But just be aware, there's trolls coming again. They can't get in our live chats because we have it subscriber only mode.
Yeah. So that's how my perspective. I'm gonna hang on to that until Inauguration Day, because based on that read, stuff is going to change. It's Tower, Crossroads, and then Storks. It changes. Do you see what I'm saying? So
investigators don't need to listen to us. They know how to track a hacker.
No, I mean, and
they don't need to listen to us. They just need to do their job.
Any reader, let me just say this, any reader or any self-proclaimed psychic that tells you that they're being watched by intelligence agencies and using what they're saying, I'm going to call it right now, that's bull motherfucking shit right there. Because all this is speculation. You can't use this in a court of law. You can't go in there and say, well, I have evidence from a psychic. That shit don't fly. So if you hear that shit on the internet, walk away, because that shit ain't true. There's no freaking FBI agency or CIA or Department of Homeland Security looking at readers on YouTube and taking that information to court as if it'll stand. They'll get laughed out like Rudy Giuliani. Okay, so I'm out of here. That was a Southern goodbye. I got to go. I got to take my kid.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. Bye-bye.
See you Sunday.
I know, baby. I know.